Welcome back to the class 12 of our first API series. In our previous lesson, we learned how to receive single files and handle form data like usernames or passwords. But in real world apps like uploading multiple documents, sending a form with images, we need to handle multiple files and sometimes both form plus file together in one API. Today you will learn how to do that easily in Fast API. If you are new on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and like. So handling multiple files and combining form plus file in Fast API, the agenda of today's lesson, and the topic 1 for this class is uploading multiple files. Fast API allows uploading multiple files using Python lists. And the second topic of today's class is uploading file plus form data together. Let's say you want to upload a student name along with a PDF certificate. So now it's time for the coding part. And keep in mind, in every class at the end, we are providing a assignment related with current class, as well as we are covering the Fast API mostly asked interview question which comes as a Fast API developer interview. So I hope you will like this. Let's start. So first of all, from Fast API I am importing Fast API, and after that file, upload file. From typing, import list. After that I have to create the instance Fast API here, and after that I am going to create one route app with method post. The name is upload underscore multiple, upload multiple, upload multiple def upload underscore multiple, and I am passing files with list, and inside list I am passing upload file, and file function I am using here. Return the dictionary files received file dot. First of all I am going to use for file in files, and then file dot file name. I am using here list comprehension. So first understand what I did till now in my code. From Fast API I am importing Fast API file and upload. File and upload file allow file handling in Fast API. And then on the next line, from typing, import list. Needed to handle multiple files as a list, that's why I am importing the list from typing. And after that I create one route with method post route for multiple files. This route is responsible to upload multiple files, and after that I am going to create here define a function upload underscore multiple, and I pass the argument files with list. So here we receives a list of upload files, so multiple files can be sent here. That's why I am using the list. whenever this function will call upload underscore multiple, this will return this files underscore received, return names of all uploaded files. So to test this, I have to run my app uvcon. Our app name is class 12 app reload. Our app is running on this IP address. Let me save this, and I hope the problem will be solved. The error is gone. So our FastAPI app is running on this IP address the by default, and the 8000 is the by default port for FastAPI. So we have to test this route in our Postman. I open here in FastAPI series. I am going to add one request, and here I am going to pass the method post and the IP address and the port of the FastAPI which run on FastAPI app. After that, I have to copy this upload multiple and I have to paste here. And here I am going to select the body inside this form data. I am going to create the keys files, and the data type is file. I am going to select one file here. So here you note I select just one file, so I have to select multiple files. So here I'm going to select these two screenshot. The end of this screenshot is 36 and 42. Let me open this. Two files are selected. Let me run this. Internal server error. Here I am getting some error. Upload file object has no attribute file name. Here the spelling mistake name. File name. Let me save this. If I hit this again, 36 and 42, two files are successfully uploaded. So in this way you will upload multiple files in FastAPI, and the status for this request is 200, means our API is hit and give response with 200 status. Now it's time to uploading file plus form data together. So for that I am going to create another route with post method submit data def submit underscore data name, data type is string, form, resume, upload file equal to file. So I am getting some error for form, so I have to import here form as well from FastAPI. I import this, and here after that colon, I want that when this function will call on this route, I am returning something here. Return the name and resume file resume dot file name. So here, to understand this code, the name, the data type for the name field is string. We are accepting the name from form, and we accept a text field. That's why we define here we are accepting the form data, and this will be for name, and the data type is string. And After that, for resume upload file accepts if file, and after that we combine both come together from front end. Let's try this. Our server is our app is running, our fast API is running. Save this. So first of all, I have to take care for the key. First one is name. The key is name, and the data type is text for this, and resume. And the type will be file. I am passing the name Ahmad, and I am going to select one PDF file just to understand this. So for that I am going to select one file. The name is Ahmad. Select one file. I select one file. As you see, I select one resume here, and the name is Ahmad, and the PDF file for the resume I select here. So let me hit this. Missing file required. Why this? We are passing the resume here, the key, and we define here. I am getting this error due to call the wrong route. This upload multiple is only accepting the files, and we are providing the name and resume here. So we have to use our own. I'm copying this, submit data. I'm going to paste here, and if I click this send request, save this and call again, and if I hit now, you'll see I'm getting some response from my API. Resume file number and name is this. So in this way you will handle the form data plus files to upload in single route in fast API, and you will use this for job application form in real world, like surname, email and CV when you apply for job application, as well as you will apply this example in student registration. And then for the student registration you will have to provide this username and the roll number and profile picture, as well as the third example of applying this example admin dashboard in e-commerce websites. So you have to upload multiple documents for review. I hope this will make sense for you. Now it's time for the assignment. Create an API register, accept name, emails as form fields, accept profile picture and CV as true files, return all four values back in JSON. Here in Postman, whenever you will send data to the endpoint using multiple form data, in Postman we have headers, and if I send this, our API is running successfully. By default, the Postman in header passing the multiple part form data, and if I click this and send my own data, now our API is running successfully. So whenever you pass the data from front end, you have to provide the multiple part form data in content type in headers. So I hope you will understand this part, how you will send data, multiple part form data from your front end. Now it's time for the interview question. How can you handle all three input types, path, query, body in fast API using routes? In fast API routes. So in fast API we learn path, query and body. So in fast API we can use path for values from the URL path, and query for optional query string filters, and body for pedantic models for full request body in JSON. These can all be combined in one endpoint for the flexible and rich input. Let me write answer for you. In FastAPI, we can use path for values from the URL path, and query for optional query string filters, and body pedantic models for full request body JSON. And another question is, imagine you are building an API like this where the user sends new product data in the body. How do you handle that in FastAPI? So we have used product ID with the data type int using path. Use a pedantic model for the body, discount equal to true. For this you can use the pedantic model for body, and use discount bool query by default will be false for query. Let me quickly write the code for this. First of all, you will import from pedantic import base model from FastAPI import FastAPI path and query. From FastAPI you have to import FastAPI path and query. From pedantic you have to import base model. So I am going to create app.route app.put product, and we have to pass product ID here. Define function update product with product ID for product ID, and the data type for the product ID is int, and path product from pedantic discount pool by default query false. After that we have to return something whenever this function will call, and I am going to pass ID product ID, and then updated will be product, and apply discount will be discount. And here you could notice this, why we are providing these three dots or the ellipses. These indicate that this value is required, means the product ID is required. We pass in path. These three dots are the ellipses, so this value is required. The user must provide this value. It cannot be skipped or left empty. Now here in this model defines the expected request body in JSON. It expect name must be string, price must be float. This line tells FastAPI the product underscore ID is required path parameter. The product underscore ID is required as path parameter. If you don't give it in the URL like this, let me write the example. Product 1. The product ID is 1 and the product is the route. The product ID is required path parameter. If you don't give it in the URL, it will raise an error. You have to definitely pass the product ID. And here this means the full request body product model is required. The product is the model name, and three dots here, the ellipses. This means the full request body means we have to provide the name and price,